Does watching Cities Skylines 2 gameplay leave you wanting more? Having played Cities 2 quite a bit now, I can say that this game is great, but there's room for improvement. Here's the top 5 things that Cities 2 can add to truly live up to the hype. Align Tool was a mod in Cities Skylines 1. A lot of people were hoping that would be built into the base game of Cities 2. Basically, it's a way to streamline the detailing process by allowing you to neatly place trees, props, and bushes in a straight line and control the distance and spacing between those objects. Unfortunately, the developers at this time seem to have not focused on anything relating to detailing and instead chose to focus on overhauling the management end of things, so it's no surprise that this wasn't added. But having it, even with the small selection of existing bushes and trees, would be a nice addition and really make detailing a breeze. Now, this one is debatable. A lot of folks have noticed that the traffic AI has been improved, and we've definitely been given more tools to control traffic than in Vanilla Cities 1. But being able to get granular, like the original game's traffic manager mod, with lane connections and timed traffic lights would be a nice touch. Especially given the game's focus on management, this would be a natural choice to improve the game even more. But I do expect to see a mod for this come out relatively early, so it's not a big deal. Do you notice the difference between this cinematic and this gameplay shot? The colors are much more vibrant and everything looks a little crisper. I took these shots with the camera mode, which allows you to change so much about the visuals of the city: colors, lens length, lighting, and much more. The problem is when you save the settings, they don't apply in-game. As of now, Cities 2 does not have any options for custom LUTs or color corrections, but this tool is so powerful that we almost don't need them. If we were able to get this tool to be applied globally across a save game so you can have it while you're playing the game or filming cinematics, it would be a game changer, literally. One issue I see is that the default LUT actually changes with the seasons, and this could conflict with that mechanic. But honestly, for those of us looking for more control over our visuals, this doesn't matter. This camera tool is one of the best additions to the game, and being able to apply it all the time would just make the overall visual experience even that much better. Trees in Cities Skylines 2 are weird. When you place them, they show up as saplings, and they take many years in-game to grow. While this mechanic has important implications to the forestry industry, as larger trees contain more wood resource, overall, this feature has been extremely unpopular with a lot of content creators who have early access. Not having fully grown trees impacts the ability to landscape and detail in a way that makes cities feel bare and empty when they're filled with saplings. Yes, there is a workaround. You can spam your map full of trees at the beginning of the game and wait, but it's impractical. The ability to have fully grown trees, maybe at an increased cost, would be such a huge improvement. I want to give a few honorable mentions before we get to the top thing that the game needs to be absolutely perfect. So Cities 1 had map themes built in for different types of environments, and the theme mixer mod enabled you to fully control the look and feel of your city. In Cities 2, right now, it's impossible to build a desert-themed city or a tropical city or anything but a generic East Coast-looking North American or Western European city. Map themes could help this. Also palm trees, please. We have a move-it-like mechanism in Cities 2, but it only applies to ploppable buildings, and while it's great, having it for roads and rails would be a massive upgrade. But it's not to be expected from the base game, so that's why it's an honorable mention. I considered including this in the top 5 because zoning is messy in Cities 2, but a lot of players won't care, and there are workarounds. Vanilla Cities 1 had a patch late in the game that added a really cool zoning adjuster tool. Unfortunately, this was not brought into Cities 2, but maybe we'll see it in the near future, and I have hope for that. Okay, so this one, literally nobody, besides maybe me and 3 other content creators, actually want this or are asking for this because it's super niche, but I'm including it anyways. Procedural objects. I don't think it needs to be in the base game, but we need someone to make a mod that works the exact same way for Cities 2, and demand for this kind of thing is super low. But it had so much power to manipulate buildings and props, and add that finishing touch to cities, or just create ridiculous, fun things. And Cities 2 feels empty without it, and it's the top thing that'll always bring me back to Cities 1, even if nobody else gives a shit about it. Okay, now to the top thing I think that Cities needs that would just make this base game perfect. This one hurts the most. Props. As in the game has none. Some of you may say you don't care about aesthetics and detailing, or that modders will pick up the slack. But I don't know. Content creators who focused on detailing and aesthetics are what helped keep Cities 1 alive for all these years, and is what inspired me to get into content creation in the first place, and lots of others. And having props and fences and rocks in-game makes it possible to make even vanilla Cities 1 builds look unique and beautiful. Without any props or natural landscaping tools, empty spaces feel bare and are harder to detail. It makes the entire game feel incomplete. Hopefully an early release patch will address this, but so far there's no indication that they will be added. And it may fall on the modding community to fix this. That being said, many buildings in CS2 have beautiful props built into them. And if there is a way we're able to access these and place them down, the base game would be immediately 10 times better than it already is. I know I go a little hard sometimes, and if you think I'm coming off as nitpicky, I'm just giving my honest, unfiltered opinion on this game, as I want to balance the reasonable expectations of not being too overhyped and then being let down, but also not unnecessarily bashing the game, because I do know, first of all, the devs spent a lot of years on this game. It is a great base game, but these few changes would make it even that much better. Let me know what features you haven't seen in Cities 2 yet that you think would take this game to the next level and really wow you. And if you haven't already, take a look at my early access Cities 2 videos here, and I'll see y'all next time.